Hello and welcome at last to my video on keeping track of the resources required to build your character's current and future. Down in the description below, you'll find a link to this spreadsheet. First thing you want to do is just file, make a copy. That way it'll copy it to your own drive. With your copy ready to go, you can now start editing it. Before you do though, let's have a quick look at these tabs. The planner tab, that's where you're going to do all of your work. The source tab is where you're going to come in and copy any characters that you want to build. Now there's only the 6 stars over here. Feel free on your own planner tab to add any 5s and 4 stars that you also want to build. The 6 stars will be automatically updated. So as new 6 stars come out, they will automatically be added to this list over here. And as well as any future event rewards will automatically be updated over here. You're not editing anything on this tab. All the work you're doing is on the planner one. The Volks tab, that one you can completely ignore. In fact, I recommend you just hide it. It's purely for reference in the original tab, in the original copy of the sheet. Once you're ready to go, first thing you want to do is you want to fill in the have column, which, as you will see in the original, will be all zeros. Just open up your game and put in your total inventory. I've already got it ready to go because it just takes a little bit of time. Then you want to start copying over any characters that you plan to build. So you just come to this tab over here, you select whatever characters it is that you want to build, Control C to copy, and then you just paste them over the top like that. But in this case, I have brought in several characters that I want to build, including Horn, Spectre, Irene, Lumen, Mystima, character I've yet to build, Shining, which I'm going to buy with gold certificates, and Nian, who is incomplete. And then, with that in place, the sheet's pretty much ready to go. That's all the work you need to do. So all I'll do now is I'll just explain to you what it's doing. So you've got your inventory tab, the have, the need. This is just adding up all the resources required as is by the characters that you want to build. And then it's doing a very quick calculation. You've got this much, you need this much. This is how much you have to go. So if it's a negative, that means you've got an excess. If it's not a negative, that means you still need a little bit more. However, this compound column, this is where it's a bit more useful. What it does is it breaks down those higher tier materials into the farmable materials. Because you don't actually farm tier 5 and tier 4 materials. You farm usually at tier 3. And so what's happening here, for instance, with this 104 sugar packs, is it's saying in higher tier materials, you're going to need 104 sugar packs to make those higher tier materials. So we're going to break it down and we're going to count it as if you just needed the tier 3. With the rocks, the Orok cubes, have also included the tier 2 because you tend to farm the tier 2 rocks rather than tier 3. And so then the true total column is then factoring in that compound. So it's saying, well, you've got 58 sugar packs over here, but you need 0. So you've got 58 excess. However, that's not true because you do need 104 in higher tier format, which then means, minus the 58 that you've got, you actually need 46. But that's not the end of it, because you've also got the future free rewards, which is calculated here, is giving you the total. Now here we've got 6 months of free rewards. However, this total formula over here is only taking into account 3 months of rewards. And I do this because that's how far ahead I recommend you plan the building of your units. Because if you're going to plan 6 months of resources, you may be sitting on a pile of resources that you're not going to use for a very long time because that character's not coming for another 5 months. Right? You could make better use of them now and just farm a little bit more later. However, I do recommend planning your pulls for 6 months ahead because it takes a lot longer to gather some pulls. Another 6 months of pulls video on the way very soon. So do subscribe for that. And however, if you do want to plan, say 6 months, or you want to be very short term, you just want to plan a month, just edit this formula over here and adjust the column. So if you want to go to 6 months, just change it to AC 5. So I'll do it like that. And then you just drag it down and it will now factor in the 6 months of rewards. But I'm only planning 3 months of character builds, so I'm only taking 3 months of free rewards. And then, so now with your free rewards factored in, it calculates how much you need minus what you're going to get for free, and then it gives you a final farming total. So even though I need 229 Oro clusters, I actually only need to farm 75. Back to those sugar packs, I needed 46. But when we take into account all the free sugar packs, and remember the higher tier unit, the higher tier materials that use those sugar packs, when we take all that into account, I'm actually going to have an excess of 24. So I don't need to farm any of these. And with the polyester packs, which I need 45, I'm going to get a bunch for free, but I still need to farm 11, which is really not much at all, because I can just upgrade some of those tier 2 ones. Going further down, I can see the Akaton, right? I need 113, which is a lot. I'm going to get a bunch for free, but I still need 61. Now, the Walk in the Dust event is happening as of the making of this video, so I've really got to focus on farming those Akaton before the event goes away. Another quick note on the future rewards, it doesn't factor in things that are luck-based. There's a full list over here on the first tab, so it doesn't factor in things like there's little new chapter loot boxes, the CC reward loot boxes. It doesn't factor in that because we don't know what you're going to get. It doesn't factor in crafting byproducts. It doesn't take into account the green or purple certificate stores. The purple one because not everybody has access, and usually you're spending it on other stuff instead, but feel free to take it into account if you want. The other thing with the green certificate store, my recommendation is you just use it to fill out what you need. So for instance, I can see that I still need quite a lot of Oro clusters. Every month I buy out that entire stack from the green certificate store because I'm always going to need that. Over here, I might buy out some of the Akaton ones if I can't farm enough. I may end up looking ahead. There's a link over here for future material farms, like what you can farm in future events. And I may see, oh, there's one event that has 3 farms and I need all 3 materials, which means I won't be able to get enough. So I might supplement some of that farming with the green certificate store. And then lastly, one final note on the masteries and modules. There is only 1 mastery and module per character, whichever one is recommended. However, you are free to add the extra columns as you wish. So if you want to add 3 extra columns, and if you've never used Google Sheets before, you just highlight 3 columns, right click, and then click insert to right or left. And then you just go to a wiki site and you just fill in the resources that you need. Feel free to just add, say, 1 column for all 3 levels if you want to keep it a bit more compact. With the mods, if the second mod is recommended, it'll be called Mod Y. And with the mastery, it's whatever the number is at the end of the mastery. So in the case of Horn, it's Mastery 3. So M13, M23, M33. Spectre, you can see M12, M22, M32, because Skill 2 is the recommended one in that case. Now, of course, there are some units where multiple masteries are highly recommended. Feel free to fill all those out as needed. Personally, what I do is I go for the main one, and then when we do get those bonuses like the live stream rewards and such, that's when I throw them into those little extra masteries, or perhaps building a 5-star that I've neglected. And yes, feel free to add anything for 5s and 4 stars that you want to build to this sheet. Remember, this sheet is just a starting point. If you want to do it in a different way and you want to use this as a launching point, feel free. You're playing the game for yourself, so do it however you want. You don't have to stick to whatever I say. I just hope you find it useful. It took a fair bit of time to get this up and running and usable by just anyone, because it was very, very, very messy when it was just for me, which was fine because I knew what was going on. I would like to give a special thank you to Wisecrack from my community who helped fill out some of these character sheets. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Coming soon will be a video on modules to build, as well as the Stiltifera Navis video content, including like the 6-star selector ticket, plus, as I mentioned earlier, another 6 months of pulls. If you do want to see something a bit interesting, go to the source tab and just look at the total resources required to build every 6-star in the game. It's pretty excessive, especially when you look at the module area, it gets very excessive. And as such, planning out, I think, is important because, especially for things like modules where there's only so much that you can get, you do want to go in without wasting anything. All right, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find this useful. If you find any errors or if you've got any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. The Discord link will also be in the description below, where you can join our fantastic community that helps out people a lot. And of course, you can join me on Twitch, where I stream a few times a week quite regularly at twitch.tv/Dr. Volke. And I'd love to see you there. Talk to you soon. Bye.